You know how much I hate this hocus-pocus nonsense, Faustus. Now you want to tell me just what the hell is so important?
Sleeping Mother, Sacred Harbinger, awaken and reclaim what is yours. You who rise with the moon in darkness, who prepares the path for the midnight sun. Turn your merciless eyes upon us, and arise!
Nice show, Doc. Next time, call Zemo. Better yet, I'll just shoot you and save us all the trouble.
I can feel it, Rox. Trouble in the air. More innocent blood joining you soon. Head back to your magic castle. You ain't welcome here.
It's called a Sanctum. And welcome or not, this is where fate has determined the Sorcerer Supreme needs to be.
Tell fate. Answers no.
This is the secret guardian you dragged me 5,000 miles to meet?
Who's the mouth?
Mr. Stark is brash, but I assure you, he can be trusted.
Wait, you seriously don't know who I am?
The fabric of magic is shifting, Johnny. The prophecy of the Midnight Sun is upon us.
Your last crusade cost me plenty. This time I intend to look after my own.
Hey pal, I don't think you understand. Things are changing. 2 + 2 no longer equals 4. Up is sometimes down, and strange here is actually starting to make sense.
Do I look like someone who gives a damn about any of that?
No, you look like you should be bouncing for the double deuce. Listen, all I know is hell's coming, and my pal here says you can help.
That's where you're wrong. Hell's not coming. It's already here. You're welcome, Robo-Man.
Iron Man? It's okay. It's fine. I know what he meant.
We come all the way out here, and the old man runs off with that precious page of yours. Could have at least left us some VIP passes for the carnival. Maybe blown up a few monsters on the way out.
Johnny Blaze has sacrificed a great deal for this world already. I am certain he will come around given time.
Thought you said time was the one thing we didn't have. All right, let's just wrap this up. I think I've got sand in my nanopolymer weave. This should be good.
Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
This shouldn't take long. Nothing personal. Okay, maybe a little personal. Am I really gonna have to bring out the big guns for this?
That suit may be a marvel of technology, but it's no match for the mystic arts. Allow me to demonstrate.
Oh, so it's a contest now. Then you take the extra creepy one.
Gladly. A moment of... I fully intend to make this as miserable as possible for you. Fair warning.
That'll work. You just got knocked the you know the rest.
Prepare yourself. I am a sorcerer supreme, you know. They haven't given up yet. You'll need even greater numbers to defeat me. Now that I have their attention, perhaps a blessing is in order. Something protective?
Well, I could give you a hand, or a shield in this case.
In the spirit of cooperation, I'll accept your offer. Just this once.
Don't mention it. Don't worry, I've got you.
Greatly appreciated. This won't end well for you. It's in your best interest to quit now. How many more will challenge the Sorcerer Supreme?
Guess we're not done yet.
It will take more than that, I'm afraid.
I think we pissed them off. Got a spell for that, maybe?
Interesting. A spell to change the very demeanor of our enemies. Something along the lines of the psionic manipulations of Eros of Titan?
If you can't make it happen in the next 10 seconds, I'm not interested. Getting it done any way we know how.
Interesting tactic.
Let's do it.
So, who wants to go first?
Oh, well, I think that's the last of them. Which is good. I might have told Pepper I was just stepping outside the restaurant to take a quick call.
And yet I'm the one who's still singing.
You might want to get that looked at.
Watch closely.
Love the effort. I'm saving my energy so we need it.
That was really something.
If I'm being honest, that encounter went better than I expected.
Tony, I've been noticing a recurring gamma spike.
You see, this is why you shouldn't eat spicy food, Bruce.
Localized in the West Village, converging on the Sanctum.
Wanda.
The collective works of the universe's greatest sorcerers, and he left them underneath the takeout menus.
Shifting mystical polarities are wreaking havoc on my portals.
You don't say. You okay, kid?
Yes. Are you?
Let's, put a pin in that. Carol.
Bruce and I have been trying to reach you. He'd have come himself, but he's...
Oh, you did the big green guy proud.
I really should up my homeowner's insurance.
Hydra!
Miss Maximoff, The wards of protection, if you please.
Stephen, I can fight. I've got control now.
Then show me by activating the wards. In the meantime, in honor of our missing companion, the rest of you may feel free to smash away.
We serve until the end!
There's still time for you to run away.
Nice one, Carol. Always the direct approach.
You know I don't mess around. Besides, we picked up some crazy gamma readings coming from, well, here. Guessing that explains the Hydra goons and ominous green lights.
Yes, but not while you fail to use the front door.
Hi, how about we discuss proper hero landing etiquette after we take down the bad guys?
Let's give it a go. It's remarkable how well Hydra manages to attract new recruits despite decades of ineptitude.
How do these guys just keep showing up?
They are surprisingly relentless. In any event, we must provide Wanda the time she needs to activate the wards of protection.
Love the effort. What are the qualifications to be a Hydra officer? I'd have guessed a warm body, but I think Lilith knows that too. We're three of the world's strongest heroes, right? Doesn't it seem like this should be easier?
I've punched through Skrull star cruisers that went down faster. Something's up.
Yes, Hydra has clearly raised their terrible suspicions to power.
Love the effort.
We've got the upper hand.
Let's do it.
That's the spirit.
The wards. Something's blocking them.
Not something. Someone. Lilith, mother of demons, harbinger of the midnight sun. Prophecy or not, you overstep, challenging the Sorcerer Supreme.
Be silent. Be still.
What just happened?
Be gone. No! A fellow daughter of Transia. You remind me of my own beloved.
In virtute visanti! Well done, Miss Maximoff. Your unique energy surprised her.
Whoa! I'm fine. What? I'm fine.
The prophecy is in motion. Lilith is still out there growing stronger each second the midnight sun approaches.
Define stronger.
If we are to have any chance of stopping her, there is only one option left to us.
I won't go back there.
We all must eventually face our demons, Miss Maximoff. However, one of us should remain behind to maintain the wards of protection.
See you on the other side. Okay, you did that one on purpose.
The fabric of magic is unwinding. We are fortunate to be here at all.
And where is here, exactly?
Salem, Massachusetts. Well, a pocket dimension in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh, suburbs. Nice.
Welcome to the Abbey. Home of the
Midnight Sun.
What the hell is this? Lilith's Junior Demon League?
We're
Wait, it's that jerk from TV.
Which one?
Now, if everyone would just take a moment...
Enough!
You're standing on my flowers.
Oh, been a long time, Sarah.
It's Caretaker now.
If I could have avoided this moment, I would, but...
Oh, spare me the speech. I know Lilith's back. We're sisters after all.
Guess we're suddenly invisible now.
Shall we chat, Stephen?
No one can argue that the Hunter earned their rest in the first battle against Lilith. I only hope they are up for the task once more.
You wizards always make everything sound so lofty. I raised my sister's only child as a weapon against her.
And saved the world in the process.
Now you want me to dig them up and ask them to do it again.
I did not write the prophecy, Sarah. Besides, I am no common grave robber. We are simply reuniting their ethereal essence with their corporal form. Speaking of, it would help to have a mental image for the procedure. Spare no detail. Spiritual identity theft is no laughing matter. Child of light and darkness, you who tame the night, hear the voice of those who beseech thee and...
The caller! Wait!
Wait! Ah!
Mother!
So, that's a good thing, right?
Sarah. Where is she?
As far as resurrection spells are concerned, I've seen worse. Particularly on myself.
Tony, come on. It's perfectly safe.
That thing wakes up and takes a bite out of you. Don't blame me.
Visiting hours are over.
You can't stay here forever.
There's nowhere else I should be.
Just saw that Stark guy poking around behind the mirror table.
Find me as soon as they awaken. And Blade, be nice.
Always am.
So cold. But the air burns with every breath. Has it been so long? I know this place. In my dreams, it was always empty. But now I sense I am not alone.
Have to admit, Hunter, you make one hell of an entrance. Guess that makes two of us.
You should have struck when you had the chance, vampire. You will not live to regret your error.
Cute, and Caretaker told me to be nice. Relax, Slayer, I'm a friend. You just don't know it yet.
Yes,
I saw you with Sarah before. But what would she want with a vampire? Unless...
The name's Blade, and I'm no ordinary vampire. I get you've been out of commission, but I thought you noticed since we're having this little showdown under the freaking sun.
A Dampier. Daywalkers were a myth, even to me.
Says the half-human, half-demon monster hunter.
You appear quite versed in my history, Dampier.
Heard my fair share of stories from Caretaker. The legendary hunter, child of Lilith, last champion of the blood. Some call you angel, some demon. Probably a little of both. Led the Knights of Wundagore against the armies of darkness until you fell at...
Fell?
Shoot. This is why they don't normally have me do the meet and greets.
I can see why.
Right. As much as I'd love to see how much weirder this conversation can go, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. The prophecy is in motion. I can feel it. We have wasted too much time here already.
Man, the others are really gonna love you.
Others?
Yeah, you've got a little fan club, I think. But why spoil the surprise? Hope you're up for the challenge, chosen one.
Did I miss something, or did Nico just raise the dead?
Hunter. Not sure if you remember me, but we met briefly before. I'm...
The witch who called me back from the grave.
Told ya.
Or Nico, but either works. And this is...
Robbie Reyes. Oh man, never thought I'd be standing next to you. Got quite a rep. I mean, Caretaker's told us stories.
That's Ileana.
Привет.
And I think you already met Blade.
Of course. Caretaker has reformed the Midnight Suns.
Whoa. How did you...
Your power. I can feel it. I always do.
So, welcome home. I guess we...
I never left.
Right. Well, we can fast forward through the tour then. The Abbey is still, well, you know, the Abbey. Basic stuff. Dorms, war room, library, a few places to chill, and, whatever the hell the Forge is. Have to say, for a haunted transient castle raised on the cursed grounds of Old Salem, it's pretty cozy. Of course, that doesn't stop us from adding some improvements. We can all thank Robbie for the Wi-Fi. Oh, and one more thing. We've got some new house guests now. You think we're a fun bunch, just wait until you meet them. Speaking of, we're here.
Yeah, okay. Spend 10 minutes in this place alone, Bruce, then see. Oh, gotta go. Show's about to begin.
So that was Lilith, huh? She has a real 90s album cover vibe.
1690s, maybe. Hard to believe she's the hunter's mother.
Resemblance dwindles when one is twisted by Chthon's power.
Whose power?
Chthon, the Elder God.
Is Chthon the elder god of metal bands?
No.
Tony, read your briefings.
Relax, I'm just spinning him up.
You think now's really the time for that? I nearly broke my hand on Lilith's face. She didn't even flinch.
The more dangerous the foe, the funnier I get.
That's debatable.
There isn't time for a refresher, much less that sort of training regime. You'll have to trust that the Hunter's past experience is enough.
Taking a big risk with your chosen one.
You act as if I'm thrilled with the situation. If you're concerned, then be all the more vigilant out there.
Easy for you to say.
Prophecies be damned. It's good to see that face again. You look like it was yesterday.
And you look older. How long was I in that crypt, Sarah?
No more than a few centuries. You were... missed.
Centuries? And what of Lilith?
Fallen by your hand. Until now.
Yeah, so speaking of Lilith...
Tony?
What? The kid's literally speaking of Lilith.
Tony.
That's my name.
Tony. That's, Carol and Dr. Spooky over there. Here to help.
Help with what, exactly?
Oh, I don't know. Throwing the magic amulet into the volcano? Smiting the Dragon Mother? You tell us, kid. You are the chosen one, after all.
Do you recall anything of that last encounter, child?
There was... a voice. The rest is hazy.
Oh, a voice. That's it? A voice? That's what we have to go on?
Results of your long crypt sleep, most likely.
A minor inconvenience. Everything required to restore those memories is contained within my sanctum. I will simply alert Wanda to prepare the necessary rituals.
What? Straight to voicemail?
Some sorcerer supreme.
Must be mystical interference caused by this little pocket dimension of yours.
Perhaps Agatha can help.
Allow me. Alato.
Whoa, what kind of network you running there?
The all-seeing eye of Ereshkigal who judges. Bound to enchanted Babylonian soul glass.
We just call it the mirror table.
Wanda! The dark force, pushing against the wards. Stephen, where are you?
That's impossible. Nothing on Earth could possibly affect those wards.
Wanda's in trouble.
Wanda is trouble.
I'll go.
You'll need my help, of course.
Then let us make haste, Dr. Spooky. Our hunt begins now.
So, crazy day, huh?
With everything going on right now, we simply cannot afford to lose contact with the Sanctum or Wanda.
Lots of new blood around here.
Even given the fluctuations in the astral spectrum, I should be seeing something. Unless Bruce is right about gamma interference. If such a thing could even exist. The wards have been activated before, and I've never experienced such a reaction. Or perhaps I have simply erased that timeline so as not to affect my own destiny. I am quite efficient with my future and past selves in that regard. Are you ready? The prophecy of the Midnight Sun does not linger, and neither should we. Lilith possesses the Darkhold. If she forced her way into my Sanctum Sanctorum once, I suspect she can do it again.
You are a sorcerer supreme. Can you not predict her movements?
Normally, yes. But since your mother breached the Sanctum, my sense of the future has grown volutinous in nature.
Is that another language, or...?
Fuzzy. My predictions are fuzzy. For the first time as Sorcerer Supreme, I cannot foresee how the future unfolds, and with my apprentice in danger, we cannot tarry.
You place significant faith in a building.
Building? The Sanctum Sanctorum is the mystical focal point of 1,000 Earths. Its wards weave and protect the very thread of the tapestry of creation. Its shelves house manuscripts written by the gods themselves. And it is the entirety of that wisdom, the entirety of that power, that falls to me, Stephen Strange, to command. At least it did. Until today.
All right, I understand. You do not trust your apprentice to defend your home.
I do not doubt Wanda's capability, but without my predictive acumen, I cannot bolster the wards should she need it. Still, the wards are woven into the Sanctum's very essence. They should hold. In any case, all will be revealed with time. I suggest we make use of it while it still functions. Knowing how selective the SUNS can be, I'm honored to have been given this opportunity to join them. Oh, your translucency spell must be failing.
About time.
Not just about time, Mr. Brooks. Time, space, reality, the building blocks of magic. All must be constant for my portals to work properly, yet as we now know, that is no longer the case.
We've heard.
Several times.
Otherwise, I would still be hunting dread maidens in my sleep.
Indeed. And while I certainly appreciate the view of this vista, I fail to see how it will hasten our return to the Sanctum.
Magic is the answer.
No, as I've just stated, magic is the problem.
Your magic is not ours. The ground you are standing on exists within two worlds. A mystical anchor point to Ileana's realm that allows her to... Well, I'll just let her show you.
belongs here. Bring her back safe.
You are standing in limbo. Nexus of all realities, both real or otherwise. A chaotic but secret realm, beyond the influence of Lilith. Thus far.
Are you certain of that? Because I am sensing all kinds of...
dark energy. That feeling you're being watched. General hellhole vibe?
Yes.
All these potentialities converging at once? Truly surprising feat, Miss Rasputin. For someone so young, of course.
You think this is crazy? Wait until you see Manhattan.
From here, Magik can open Gator, so we've chosen a safe exit a few blocks over instead.
Couldn't be worse than the last time.
It was just a simple miscommunication.
Ocean Avenue. I said Ocean Avenue, Magik.
least we know the wards of protection are still in place.
For now.
I suggest we hurry.
Arm Alpha in position! No one's getting through!
Welcome to New York.
I hesitate to call this good news, but I'm seeing minimal Hydra resistance between you and the Sanctum.
Looks can be deceiving, I'm afraid. There's no way these foot soldiers are behind the disruption of the wards of protection. This won't end well for you.
Now that was something.
Misguided as they are, remember, Hydra is still human, Hunter. Not Lilith.
You were saying?
The lifeblood of the Mother pumps through our veins. The Mother is eternal. Hydra is eternal.
Wanna bet?
Wanda!
Wards! Weakening! Cannot let them fail!
Association is not going to like this.
No.
I'll handle it.
Or not.
We do not fear your magic, little wizard. We have answered the Mother's call. We are Venom to all who oppose her. And you are lost.
Well, that certainly escalated quickly. Do I even want to know what that beast is?
It calls itself Venom. Until now, a pale imitation of a very heroic young friend of mine.
We will feed your ugly tongue to the spider wizard. Marinate it in his stomach juices and eat it with his spleen.
No more.
This house belongs to Mother, as you belong to us. We shall start with your juicy entrails, then slowly savor your delicious brains. Are the rest of your mother's children so chatty?
Thankfully, no.
First you die, then we eat. No sympathy for the weak.
Pain would be bearable if only he would stop talking.
We may not be ready for this thing yet. Might be smarter to pull back until we know what we're up against here.
Yes. Surrender. Be eaten. Fill Fill our belly with your tasty fear!
I shall fill your belly with my blade, demon.
Good work, everyone.
No escape from me, demon.
Hold up. We don't know what we're dealing with yet.
Such easy prey! What?
Hey, big guy! I was in the neighborhood, you know, being friendly. Seemed like you folks could use a hand, Doc.
Spider-Man!
Jeez, Eddie, what happened to you? That's sort of a horrifyingly terrible new look. The tongue was gross enough, but whoa! Someone is extra touchy today.
We will rip your face off and suck the marrow from your bones!
Always nice to see you too, buddy. So, I'm thinking your friends here could use a little break. How about I take Eddie here for his afternoon walk? Don't worry, Doc. That's just his way of saying he cares!
Congratulations.
New world or not, some things remain unchanged.
The look.
What look?
Boldly charging headfirst into the jaws of your enemy. Courageously risking the lives of yourself and your teammates. Just to play the hero. This is the Fire Dragon all over again.
Fire Dragoon. My memories may be fragmented, but as I recall, I killed the bastard.
And all it cost was a village.
Ah, of course. I see it now. The look.
Cut him some slack. It wasn't that simple.
It never is. Which is why I sent you to help. If Spider-Man hadn't come along today, we could have lost far more than
the Sanctum?
Or Wanda.
She means I could have died. Again, putting an end to her eternal crusade against my mother.
You've been through a lot. For now, it's enough that you all made it back in one piece. More or less. We'll talk more later. Get some rest. Not to be the nagging old lady, but I told you not to push too hard. Now that things have settled down, you should get some rest. It won't always be this quiet.
That was a complete fiasco.
And it would have been far worse had Spider-Man not arrived when he did.
No kidding. Caretaker would have been pissed if Venom had actually eaten a hunter.
Yes, one disaster averted. But we still need to figure out how to get Wanda and the Sanctum back. Not the outcome I envisioned for our first mission together, but you know what they say. Any mystical battle you can teleport away from.
You did okay out there, considering you were technically dead 72 hours ago.
An impressive first outing, just as I had.
Hey, for what it's worth, I think you did okay out there. You got some decent hang time, even given you were wearing, what, 70, 80 pounds of chainmail? On the Stark scale of reckless yet daring heroics, I give it a solid 6 out of 10. Don't worry, you'll get there, with a little help.
And where exactly am I going?
Oh, that's the real question, isn't it? Sky's the limit for you, my friend. Unless you'd be up for wearing a space helmet. You do breathe air, don't you? You know what? It doesn't matter. I couldn't help but overhear Auntie Caretaker over there telling you to get some rest. That sounds like a good idea to me. I suppose I could keep you company on the way, seeing as our rooms are in the same direction and all. Besides, no one should be forced to walk the hallways around here alone. So, here we are. The old room, huh? It's not bad. Functional. Solid construction. Almost cozy. Love the antique furnishings from the early Mephisto collection. Full transparency, Hunter, there's another reason I asked to join you here, other than my abject terror of this entire facility. Stopped here before, while you were out. Wanted to surprise you with a nice little housewarming present. Was all set to write you a lovely welcome note, but I'm fairly certain that wasn't red ink in your quill.
But I do not have a quill.
Even better.
Relax, Tony. I simply jest. It is an ink derived of the spider lily flower. Red spider lily flowers.
Of course it was. Obviously.
With just a touch of amphibian blood for power.
Haha! Another zinger. And we'll just leave it at that. Well, I suppose I should leave before whatever monstrosity that is most definitely hiding under your bed jumps out, rips my face off, and then proceeds to feast on my soul. I'll leave you to it.
May your sleep be filled with pleasant dreams, Tony.
Right back at you. Oh, and if you hear the shrieking of a grown man, please ignore it. It's just me, walking to my room. Hi, I'm Tony Stark. But if you're hearing this message, you already know that. When I'm not saving the world, I solve the world's problems with technological means, like the one you're holding. I call it the Spark, a secure information and communication device built only for superheroes. It does all the usual, private messages, pictures, and calls for some reason. But it also comes with access to Superlink, a private social network exclusively for your cape-wearing, world-saving compatriots. You might ask, Tony, aren't you just repurposing a failed product from your communications division? If you do, I'll revoke access and let everyone else know you're a jerk. I call it the Wonder Man rule.
My old journal. Maybe it is time I start writing in it again.
Charlie! I know. I missed you too.
Let her enjoy the moment. She's been visiting your door every morning for the past 300 years.
Oh, it must have been so hard on her.
Not just her. I suppose that's why I might have been a little curt before.
A little?
You already made the ultimate sacrifice once. Maybe I'm in no rush to see you do it again.
We do not choose our destiny.
But we can choose to duck.
First lesson you ever taught me.
And still the most important. Especially now that you have all these eyes on you.
I have noticed.
To these people, you are a being of myth and legend. A grand hero of old. And they're right. You are a hero. But I also know the battle that rages within your soul. It's not enough that you are a hero. You need to decide what type of hero you will be. I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunity for that in the days to come. For now, I would head to the Forge. Our new guests are eager to show you something. This was a lot easier when it was just you and I beheading the Dark Legion as we traipsed through the woods.
Don't forget about Agatha.
I never could. Charlie was restless all night. I should have known something was wrong. We'll talk more later, but for now, Stark has requested your presence in the Forge. I think he has another present for you. Hey. I'm not sure we've ever had so many eager new recruits come along in such a short time. We must be doing something right. I don't recall ever having this many active SUNS at one time. I suppose it should be reassuring.
Next thing I know, the Sanctum is airborne and covered in slime. Heard you had a nightmare. In the words of Agami Ito, don't be afraid. Bad dreams are only dreams. Hunter.
Let's talk later, Hunter. Tony will start pouting if you keep him waiting too long.
Now? Think you can tell your friend inside there to turn it up a few hundred Kelvin?
I could. However, it might shatter the containment spell preventing him from incinerating this facility.
I think we're good. And just in time.
The Forge has certainly changed.
Right. Caretaker said this all happened after your siesta. What spooky castle would be complete without its own Babylonian demon-powered furnace?
Sumerian fire demon. His name is Babs.
Oh, now it all makes sense. Well, once you get past the esoteric terror of the situation, I've found this thing actually has some uses. Molecular bonding, breaking down evil gamma serums, fashion accessorizing.
Yes, speaking of...
Oh, right. It's ready.
Your armor seemed to offer minimal protection against the Venom creature.
I noticed.
Yeah, I thought you could use an upgrade.
Well hammered, well fired. Caretaker did not mention that you two are such skilled smithies.
Yep, I am Iron Smithy.
Perhaps you should just try it on. Still think it could have used a cloak.
Stylish, damn near indestructible, and we even got the size right. Not bad for our first collaboration.
I still think it could have benefited from a cloak.
You think everything could benefit from a cloak?
I do not.
Oh, I've heard the things you whisper to your cape when you think no one's listening.
The joys of sharing a workspace. And I'll have you know this cloak has helped me save the universe from extinction on countless occasions.
Could you at least tell it to stop rearranging things on my side of the cave?
I have, but it considers you something of a slob.
You know, I have a great psychiatrist in the city. Maybe you should talk to him. Although, I think he's working for Hydra right now. I hate to admit it, but somehow this ancient forge puts any arc reactor I've got to shame. Who would have thought mystically bound demon power would be so damn energy efficient? Or carbon neutral? Certainly got that new suit of yours done a lot faster than I expected. Speaking of, what's the verdict, boss?
It is nice having an armorer on demand.
Anytime. I tried to make this version a little less palatable to that symbiote thing. It was this close to making it menthol flavored. But tools are just one part of the equation. You gotta know how to use them too. You were out, what, 300 years before we woke you from your eternal rest? I'm betting you have questions, so ask away, Hunter.
I take it this new version is a technological marvel?
Impact-resistant carbon composites, some patent-pending alloy mesh, and a few touches from Dr. Spooky over there. And hey, the built-in communicator means we can talk to each other without sending a raven.
So it is a marvel, then?
Lightweight, nearly indestructible, and modular enough for future upgrades. Frankly, I wouldn't have used your old suit to wax the Mandarin's car.
Is all this magic a threat to your new technology?
It might surprise some people to hear this, but I do like some things with rules. Isotope decay, magnetic fields, and gamma oscillation make a lot more sense to me than Eye of Newt, bat wings, and a sprinkle of sunshine. At least they did before everything changed.
But you and the Doctor seem to work well together.
Well, no need to put a label on things. The guy is good at making sense of this madness every now and then. He's not talking to his cape.
Seen anything strange around here?
What, other than my roommate? Boom! Roasted! But on a more serious note, this place is legitimately haunted. Mirrors look back at you. My room rearranges itself. And worst of all, magic cats.
Was it suspiciously elusive, even for a cat?
Actually, yes. Thought I was going crazy there for a second, but clearly I'm still firing on all cylinders. It just poofed in next to me out in the yard. Small, black, furry. Cute little thing. Probably some kind of shape-shifting monster knowing this place.
What sort of things are you doing in here?
Oh, that's right. You were out a while. Basically, we've got a gigantic demon inside the magic box here that provides near limitless power for whatever we might need. Sounds insane, but sometimes it's easier to just go with it.
Okay. So, why not magically create a way through that symbiote shield?
Have you ever known it to work that way? We can't just wish upon a star here. We need to know what we're making first and put together the right components. Otherwise, I'd have already whipped up Strange a new personality.
You must have an interesting origin story of your own.
Well, just your typical American boy. Pops was a founding member of the military-industrial complex. Mom, a famous socialite. Tragedy struck when I lost them both in a car crash, which turned out to be a hit from a rival corporation. I spent my early teens at MIT, trying to clear my head, and was all set to follow in Dad's footsteps as a war profiteer. Then one day, fortune shined on me, in the form of some errant shrapnel that lodged itself just above my heart. So I did what anybody in that situation would do. I built a supersuit and started fighting crime.
You sound pretty pleased with yourself.
Now you're starting to sound a little like Pepper. And Jennifer. Of course, they both think I'm full of something else.
Thanks for catching me up on things.
Anytime. Oh, and speaking of things, remember that creepy gamma goop you found from that hopped-up Hydra soldier? Well, I gave it a peek, and it explains a lot. If you have a minute, meet me at the anvil over there, and I'll walk you through it. I promise it'll be worth your time.
Hail, Holy One! Or is it unholy? Yet to be determined. Hunter, your new attire suits you quite well. But how are you holding up on the inside? I know it's easy to look upon me and simply see the universe's utmost authority on all things mystical and macabre, Hunter. However, in addition to being Earth's Sorcerer Supreme, I am also your doctor.
You mean a physician of the medical arts? You jest.
I assure you, Hunter, I do not jest. They don't call me Mr. Strange, now do they? Except for Tony. Your awakening ritual was admittedly a touch more chaotic than I had originally intended, and, well, after your violent encounter with Venom, my oath to Hippocrates compels me to check in with you. Simply put, how do you feel?
Physically, I am fine. However, I do feel some
grogginess, a tinge of nausea, sense of memory loss upon time of passing, watery or itchy eyes, common side effects when one is pulled back into the light. Believe me, I know. If any other symptoms arise, you can always tell me, particularly if you develop a craving for brains. I have a cream for that. In any event, I, for one, do not know if I will ever feel 100% again after the events of yesterday. I still can't believe what transpired. The Sanctum, all that knowledge, Wanda, lost. Swallowed whole by the black mouth of that foul Venom creature. With all my resources, all my gifts, I should have seen this outcome spelled out in the sacred geometry of this universe years ago. But I miscalculated.
I'd rather stand down a horde of rampaging Lilith than face one of Agatha's mathematics puzzles. Sacred or not, geometry be damned.
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't my least favorite requirement in pre-med. Still, if only I had studied harder, I would have reached some deeper understanding that could have altered this outcome.
We will alter this outcome, Doctor.
On that, we most certainly agree, Hunter. It's not just the Sanctum Sanctorum that was lost yesterday, it was my protege, Wanda. She is my charge, my responsibility, and I failed her. But I am determined not to let that happen with you, Hunter, which is why I am here to answer any questions you may have. Perhaps my wisdom may benefit you more than it has me thus far.
That creature on the roof. You have run into it before.
Unfortunately, yes. In the simplest of terms, Venom is an alien species living in symbiosis with a human known as Eddie Brock. He's something of a fixture in New York these days, but typically his hijinks are confined to harassing Spider-Man.
It sounds like Spider-Man is Venom's nemesis. Maybe he has some insight.
Of course. I have no doubt Spider-Man will prove to be an invaluable asset in the ongoing fight against both Venom and Lilith.
Tell me about your Sanctum's wards of protection. I have never heard of a protection spell that powerful.
In your time, I'm sure you encountered a variety of minor wards and protective spells. The Sanctum Sanctorum was shielded by one such incantation, but greatly amplified by the convergence of ley lines.
And no one has ever broken the spell? Ever?
There's always a first for everything, but I had honestly never imagined a scenario in which the wards could be broken. Perhaps it was arrogance on my part, but Lilith is among the more cunning enemies we've ever faced.
How did Wanda come into your care?
Wanda's story is Quite tragic, and perhaps not mine to tell. There was an accident on the Abbey grounds not long ago involving Agatha.
That kind of power sounds like it could be dangerous.
We don't truly know the extent of Wanda's power, and in that respect, you two are very similar. Were she here now, I think you would have found her to be a kindred spirit.
Let us talk later.
Visit whenever you like. It's not often I get to converse with a true legend.
Now, I doubt advanced gamma thermodynamics was a hot topic at Yield Demon Hunting School, so I'm just gonna give you the condensed version.
I appreciate that.
Closest I've ever seen to this substance is pumping through Bruce's veins. Part gamma accelerant, part unknown element. Calling it coil for now, given its unique atomic structure. Man, I love acronyms. This stuff is more volatile than Nick Fury on a Monday morning, but Hydra doesn't seem to mind.
They're using it to get stronger.
Exactly. A few drops would make your average salamander look like Fin Fang Foom. Thankfully, with a little help from Dr. Spooky and our haunted oven over here, I think two can play at this game.
You are not suggesting we start injecting ourselves with it?
No, nothing like that. Though I can see some future applications for my energy drink line. I was thinking we apply this stuff towards upgrading our equipment.
I like where this is going.
Just give me a little time here and I can whip up some pretty fun toys. How about we give Hydra a taste of their own gamma-powered medicine for a change?
Welcome to the yard. At least that's what we're calling it these days. Caretaker put me in charge of your training. Too bad she didn't listen to me yesterday. Now that we know what we're up against, I think we can all use the practice. Any questions?
I did, but they are about you.
Right when it's time to train? From all Sarah told us about you, she never described you as lazy.
I learn faster if I understand the person who trains me.
I can respect that. Go ahead.
Can I ask about you?
I guess.
Is your name really Blade?
Is your name really the Hunter?
Yes.
Oh, really? Your mom, before she became the mother of demons, looked into your cradle and decided to name her firstborn child the Hunter.
That is how I understand it.
It takes all kinds.
So, is your name really Blade?
No.
What is it?
It's private.
Is it embarrassing?
No, the Hunter, but I only share it with friends.
You do not consider me a friend?
Not yet. Don't take it personally.
How did you become a Dhampir?
You say that like I had a choice. I was born this way.
How is that possible?
A vampire bit my mother. Problem was, I was still in the womb. I'm lucky I was even born. Don't know if that's how it always is, but that's the way it went down for me.
How long have you been around?
I don't exactly know. I think of myself as mid-20s, maybe. I lost a lot of time. Much of the last century was a blur. I have occasional memories, almost like coming up for air before being yanked back down into the depths.
What happened?
I killed a lot of vampires. I hadn't lost my mind exactly, but I got into a rhythm and never stopped. Never had a reason to stop. Not until I met Caretaker.
And then?
She gave me a reason to stop.
What brought you to the Abbey?
Caretaker. About 10 years ago, she brought me back to the real world. Gave me a place to stay until I came back to myself.
Did she ever say why?
She said she thought I'd be able to kill more vampires if I was acting on more than just instinct. But I know it was more than that. She gave me safe haven here at the Abbey, something I'd never known. Must have read half the books in the library by the time I headed out. So when she reached out and asked me to be part of this weird little club, of course I showed up.
Tell me about the Midnight Suns.
All right.
Do you have any thoughts on the team as a whole?
I think we're the only ones aware of the danger Lilith poses to this world. And I think we're pretty green. But enough training will get us through it. Speaking of training, we doing this, or are we gonna keep wasting daylight?
I'm ready to train.
Finally.
Like the way you move out there, Hunter. Guess Dr. Strange picked the right supernatural demon hunter to resurrect. I'm Carol Danvers, but you can call me Captain Marvel. Kidding, Carol's fine. Just thought I'd throw a bone to the Avengers PR team. Not gonna lie, going a few rounds in Vampire Guy's Magic Thunderdome sounds like fun, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, not so much fish as that ginormous invulnerable sewer monster that swallowed the Sanctum.
Every lock has its key.
True, if only a man-eating alien demon monster hadn't eaten ours. But that got me thinking. Strange, Caretaker, and the rest of the funky bunch can try and magic their way through that shield all they want. If my time as a pilot taught me one thing, it's that sometimes you've gotta find a workaround. As in Hydra. They've gotta know the way inside. Steve's always said they aren't much for talking. But then again, I'm told I can be rather persuasive when I need to be.
Just how far are you willing to go, Captain?
Let's just say that I'm willing to unleash the power of a quantum singularity white hole on them if need be.
Quantum... what?
You'll see. Find me in the war room when you're finished here. There's a few things we should discuss. Oh, and Hunter? Welcome back from the dead.
Certain these days, but these readings are too distinct to ignore. The gamma signature is...
Sorry, Bruce, we lost you. Did you say gamma?
Yes,
Hang on a second. Come on, Tony. You managed to stream the Super Bowl to a Kree battleship 50 light-years out. This should be easy.
Oh, we waited all year for that game, and you know the Skrulls would have spoiled it for us if they got the chance.
Well, can't you just... I don't know.
Work my magic again? See, that's the problem. This time I am working with actual magic, and let me tell you, it sucks.
Ow. The gamma signature is completely inverted. The daughter nuclei are being reabsorbed into the parent nuclei, which is impossible.
If the gamma signature from the Sanctum is really that unique, Bruce, then couldn't we just...
Sorry, still working out a few gremlins in the system.
Try sunlight, and whatever you do, avoid water.
Wait, you're being serious?
We should be able to track this new gamma signature to its source then, right? I'd do it myself, but we seem to be having a little IT trouble today.
Please. Old Central here is ready to grind through that data like chum.
What exactly is a Central?
CENTRAL. Cognitive encryption, net transmogrification. We'll figure it out later.
Sending coordinates now. Hope your gremlins enjoy gamma spectroscopy.
Well, he's been a little moody lately, ever since, the problem with the big old green guy.
I heard that.
Banner can't turn into the Hulk? Not sure if we should be frightened or relieved.
That makes two of us.
Oh, hey. Come on. Happens to everyone. Well, okay, not everyone.
Nice work, Bruce.
I know that place. Creepy, abandoned warehouse in the bad guy part of town.
My favorite kind. Anybody up for paying it a visit?
Definitely.
Aw, see that? Teamwork goosebumps.
Find me when you're ready.
Multi-million-dollar piece of experimental technology, and she kicks it.
The two of us on the mean streets of New York? Evildoers beware.
It was just recently that the Hudson Yards Development Restoration Association purchased this entire block. I'll let you think about that one for a minute.
Let's see. Trench coat, sunglasses at night, brooding personality. Something tells me these midnight warehouse raids are... This area in particular?
Occasionally. Good for a late night snack.
Oh.
The falafel place down the road. Stays open till 3.
Oh, right, sure. Only maybe next time say it less vampire-y.
Don't worry, this is a different portal to a different location. One of these days, I'll join you on the mission, and you will see what I am really capable of.
Gamma signatures and unstable isotopes aren't really in my wheelhouse, so we'll be patching Dr. Banner through from Avengers Tower once you reach the other side.
Almost feels like cheating with you two on our side.
Probably can scratch abandoned off the description of this place. You seeing this, Bruce? Getting all sorts of weird down there.
Johann Fenhoff. That hack. I heard he was dead. Well, hoped is perhaps the more accurate description.
Calls himself Faustus now. Hydra's resident mad scientist.
Not just Hydra's. Lilith's. That's magic coming from those crates. I can feel it.
Yeah? How about gamma radiation? You feeling that too? Because that's some pretty evil-looking Hydra tech down there.
Gamma and magic.
Gonna need you to use your science brain on this one, Bruce.
We need to approach this situation carefully. Combining those energies is an explosive proposition at best. Think scalpel, not hammer. Stealth, not strength.
Yeah, I don't do stealth.
Kill them.
I always considered Faustus a bit of a crackpot, but his fundamental science must be sound. The device would have surely exploded otherwise after your display, Carol.
Learned it by watching you, Bruce.
They're mine.
That was something.
You're done.
I think they can arrest you for that in New York, Blade.
I've never been one to buy into the science of magic, but the data I'm seeing is hard to ignore. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio.
You know you're talking to a vampire, an alien hybrid, and a resurrected demon hunter, right?
Not a problem. Tell him who sent you.
possible he somehow stabilized the rate of decay within the particles themselves? How else could he be achieving such a high yield?
I don't know, Bruce. I'll be sure to ask him when we're done punching out the bad guys.
Come get it. And I thought Man-Thing was ugly.
Go, now, quickly!
Let's go, go, go!
The perfect opportunity to field test Mother's device.
Watch out!
Get her!
For the record, Bruce, I did not smash that thing.
Noted, Carol. Perhaps you might direct all that energy towards your newfound adversaries instead. And the mysterious cargo they're attempting to escape with? Preliminary analysis of the blast confirms high levels of gamma and various unknown energies.
Unknown to you. There is dark magic at work here. We must not let Hydra escape with it. You are lucky to still be breathing.
One less thing to worry about. Approximately 16,342 more to go. I suggest starting with the remaining Hydra forces in your vicinity. To be crystal clear, we won't be able to recreate Faustus's experiment or track potential future variants' gamma signatures without a baseline resonant sample from his initial occult catalyst.
Got it. Stop the truck.
Enemy has the upper hand. Let's see how tough you are.
Ah, these delays can be quite frustrating. Infuriating, even. I suppose by now I'd normally be tromping through the warehouse, hurling the puny truck at the moon.
I've got a pair of torn purple pants with your name on them.
Think that would stop me?
Time for the real.
We've done it!
What is this thing?
Bad guy crate, full of bad guy stuff.
I know those symbols. From the time of the first hunt. That glyph means barrier. That one, almighty. Something, something. Gods and demons.
So a spooky bad guy crate.
Very spooky. Designed to contain powerful magic. Be careful.
Got it. Don't cross the streams.
Never do. How about we get this thing back to the Abbey and see for ourselves? Nice job out there, kid. I mean, I didn't get Hydra bombed until my 10th run with the Avengers.
Kid, you do know that I am a good 3 centuries older than you, right?
Then you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, Abbey tournament. tonight.
Sure about that? Last one got a little heated.
The eternal spirits of vengeance take technical fouls very seriously, especially in the fourth quarter.
Forget it. Tonight is movie night.
It is always movie night.
Exactly.
Wow, out of jail again? Who made this game? Wilson Fisk?
Well, if parking is free, clearly no one from Manhattan.
You know what they say? All work and no play is how we ended up with Ultron. Come on. You should hang out.
I should rest. Another time.
Come on, Hunter. I know you're awake in there. You just replied to me. Good. You answered. Getting hard to keep finding ways to say open door around here. And despite what Robbie says, I don't think the staff of one speaks High Elven. Blood magic stuff. Cool room. Spacious. Aw, is that bed for Charlie?
Yes?
So, if you're planning on giving me some sort of brooding code of the stoic warrior speech, I'm immune. Just ask later, Magik. From what I just saw out there, whatever crazy ancient living weapons stuff Caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you. We got a lot of work to do.
Work?
Yeah, talking to people, making friends, basic human stuff. Or quasi-human. You're a Midnight Sun now. One of us.
Nico, I was just Hydra bombed. I could use some rest.
You and me both. Been bad dreams every night for me lately. I, keep seeing Wanda. She... Never mind.
I will meet you outside.
Yes! I'll go nuke us some popcorn and you pick out a movie. Oh, and it may just be the two of us. The others went outside, needed to cool off. Really need to hang a fan over that forge. Or maybe crack open the casket of ancient wonders a little? I'm kinda getting the impression Doctor Strange is a little bit of a hoarder. I mean, just because it's magical junk doesn't mean it's not junk. You know what they call an artifact that only works in a pocket dimension once every 10,000 years? I don't know either, because I don't hoard junk. Something tells me you don't have a favorite movie. Well, we can start you out with one of my favorites. I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing. I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
Sorry to hear you went through that.
It was bad, but I learned to deal with it. It's the only way forward, right? Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
I did not realize you carried such pain.
I just learned to bury it. You think I can afford a therapist on a superhero salary? I'm kidding. We don't get paid for this. Enough about our crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. I won't forget it. So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries.
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask. Like, what's the staff of one? Or who were the runaways?
I had some questions about your staff.
Sure. But first, the basics. The staff of one interprets words or phrases as spells, but it can only cast a spell once. No repeats.
Can you tell me how the staff of one functions?
It's, blood magic, so my own blood is required to summon it. You wouldn't believe how many adhesive bandages I go through each year.
What about the words you speak?
They come true. Kind of. And not always the way I expect. It's like making a wish, but you can never make the same wish again.
I had some questions about your old team.
The runaways? Sure thing.
Who was on the team?
At first, Chase with his mad science gear, Molly, our pint-sized powerhouse, Carolina, the solar-powered sweetheart. Gert had a telepathic link to Old Lace, a genetically engineered Deinonychus from the 87th century. I handled the blood magic, though I didn't understand it much. And Alex, well, we don't talk about Alex.
Were you all heroes who banded together?
No, we were normal kids. We saw each other once a year when our parents got together to reminisce. And then we found out two very disturbing things. First, our parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Second, each of us had some sort of powerful birthright. Our parents wanted us to follow in their footsteps.
What did you do?
We ran. But eventually, we realized only the 6 of us could stop our parents and their dark gods, so we faced them and stopped them from destroying reality as we know it. You know, typical kid stuff.
Who was on the team?
At first, Chase with his mad science gear, Molly, our pint-sized powerhouse, Carolina, the solar-powered sweetheart. Gert had a telepathic link to Old Lace, a genetically engineered Deinonychus from the 87th century. I handled the blood magic, though I didn't understand it much. And Alex, well, we don't talk about Alex.
Were you all heroes who banded together?
No, we were normal kids. We saw each other once a year when our parents got together to reminisce. And then we found out two very disturbing things. First, our parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Second, each of us had some sort of powerful birthright. Our parents wanted us to follow in their footsteps.
What did you do?
We ran, but eventually we realized only the 6 of us could stop our parents and their dark gods, so we faced them and stopped them from destroying reality as we know it. You know, typical kid stuff.
Where are your friends now?
Molly attends Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Carolina left Earth to marry alien nobility. Gert, she didn't make it. After Gert passed, Chase and I had a falling out. The last I heard, he and Old Lace are living at his family home in LA. As for Alex, he chose his side, and it wasn't ours. He died with our parents.
I had some questions about your staff.
Go for it.
If each magical effect is unique, do you worry you will run out of words?
Not really. I only use the staff's power when I truly need it. The rest of the time, I rely on more conventional means. Like, you know, magic.
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like Caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
I'm glad to see you're using your free time productively. I'm sure you'll want to rest, but we should discuss our next move as soon as possible. Looks like you're finding your way around, maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but...
Things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
I remember many sleepless nights and blood-soaked days. Always on the hunt.
I'll give you that. But there were times back then I wouldn't trade for anything. With both you and...
Agatha. Where is Agatha?
I am sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... She's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
Fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
Agatha's power... How could she be... gone?
She put her trust in the wrong person. Agatha died in an accident caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her. But she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Dr. Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
Wanda's powers were so out of control they cost a life. Your decision may have saved lives, if not the entire Abbey.
I like to believe that, especially given her current situation. Wanda, Agatha, it seems we have lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter.
Agatha!
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter.
just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, you learn to take things in stride. Even death.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
The Bloodgate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen? This ominous-looking portal is known as a Bloodgate, and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Bloodgate? Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you, as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask.
That is something.
Not what you were expecting, is it? There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, Ashtor.
Sarah, Caretaker, was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should have.
This entire realm exists for that purpose. Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference. Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear. As the goddess of balance and order, Ashtor was sometimes called the giver of justice. You can expect a fair fight, or at least her idea of one.
No mercy for the servants of Lilith.
Good girl, Charlie. Oh, and you too, Hunter. You finished this trial, but don't worry. The other gods are waiting. Sarah was right to be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The two of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind. The blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess Ashtor for her aid in dealing with that barrier over there?
Oster smiles upon me.
After all this time, it's still just as beautiful as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence that they wound up so close to Salem. This area is particularly attuned to the forces of magic. That's why the Elder God's influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained all but impregnable over the centuries. And now I'm rambling on like an old sorcerer supreme. Why don't you come see me in the library tomorrow night? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, Caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little Hydra gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate?
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what Hydra is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a we in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss.
Whatever artifact is inside, it's better off in our hands. If Hydra is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever's in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
I hope the two of you create something powerful. I want to stop Lilith quickly and decisively.
As I said, I'm sure it can help us. I just need to convince Tony to set his ego aside. His discomfort with the esoteric nature of the arcane might be a problem.
But Tony's eccentricities aside, I know you can make this work.
Right now, with the Sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can get this container open and study what's inside. Step up to the anvil, Hunter. It doesn't bite. How may the Sorcerer Supreme assist you? I'm not expecting any defuses with this one. By the hoary hosts of Hoggoth, I can hardly believe it.
What? Is it worse than you expected?
No, it's totally unexpected. It's the Eternity Dagger. This was in a place of honor in my bedchamber in the Sanctum for years. The Sanctum Sanctorum is no common domicile to be burglared. These barbarians have no idea what they possessed.
Or perhaps they did. Maybe these artifacts are exactly what Faustus and my mother were after to begin with.
A distressing thought. If they had my dagger, then who knows what others of my priceless possessions have passed through their greedy fingers. The cube of nothingness. The tear of Profia, and most worrisome of all.
Your toothbrush? You, had a little coffee thing going on this morning with your breath?
Oh, Tony.
Sorry. Doc's right, Hunter. I drank 3 glasses of holy water just to walk through the Sanctum's front door. Place is like a doomsday vault for all sorts of supernatural nastiness. We need to put a lid on this mess. Pronto.
I believe Carol is already working on it.
At last. Now that this artifact has been returned to its proper owner, we shall see if we can make use of the mystic forces contained within.
Hey, Hunter. Got a sec to spare? You've been here more in the past few days than I have since... ever. The forge is pretty badass, but the creature trapped inside riles up my own inner demon. Speaking of, there's something you should know about me.
You are bonded with a spirit of vengeance?
Damn, you're good. How could you tell?
You are not the first spirit of vengeance to join the Midnight Suns. I fought beside another, just a few days... 3 centuries ago.
Oh man, sometimes when I have crap to work through, I like to get my blood pumping. Why don't we hit the yard for a sparring session? I know Sparky's excited to meet you.
Sparky?
That's what I call my spirit of vengeance. His real name is something you'd see written on a symbol, but with like 12 apostrophes. Also, he's not allowed inside after the incident with Caretaker's Sumerian sofa.
It would be my honor to spar with the spirit of vengeance.
Wow, he's real excited. Never thought he'd get bouncy, but here we are. Okay, let's do this. I'll get Blake to set things up. Won't take a minute.
I will head to the yard. When you and Sparky trade places, what does he look like?
He's the guy with the flaming metal skull and hellfire chains. Kinda hard to miss.
I'm almost getting used to seeing you on your feet again. Almost. Regardless of what Mr. Stark thinks, the mirror table was guiding our hand reliably for centuries before the advent of computers.
Hey, you.
You called for me, Captain?
Keep telling ya, Carol works too, but yeah, I did. Now that Tony's finally starting to get a handle on his gremlin problem, I've been able to put Central to good use. Got a lead on some particularly gnarly Hydra operations happening in the city. But we need to move fast if we want to intercept them in time.
Then let's get going.
My thoughts exactly. There's just one problem, though. We seem to have lost our gatekeeper, Magik.
Lost?
Well, I updated her on the mission. She said something I can only assume to be a prolific swear word in Russian and disappeared. Literally. And with no Magik...
There is no passage to New York, or anywhere for that matter.
Now you see my problem.
Do not worry, Captain. I will locate and alert her of the team's needs.
There's that can-do, get-it-done, old-timey prophesied savior of humanity attitude I was hoping to see today. Still, you better hurry. Not sure how long Hydra will remain in their current position.
Then I shall make haste.
Yes, you hasten as much as you can, Hunter. Not much more I can tell you, Hunter. Though I did hear her mutter something about Wanda right before she poofed away. Maybe that helps.
Thanks, Captain. I shall find her.
Well, hello there.
Doctor, have you seen Magik recently?
I'm curious why you would be asking me that. Perhaps I'm just being sensitive, but I get the feeling she doesn't like me very much. I suspect it has something to do with losing Wanda. Sorry I can't help you more.
You would not perchance know where I can find Magik?
Sure, just look all around you. The Abbey is literally littered with magic. Can't go anywhere without tripping over some hex or curse.
Right. Thank you, Tony.
Got a minute, Hunter? Crazy world you woke up to, Hunter. Hydra running around causing trouble, apocalypse prophecies, the Bronx.
It is indeed, Daywalker.
And that op against Faustus. The way Captain Marvel just absorbed that bomb. Unbelievable, isn't it?
That bomb was clearly meant for me. I am in her debt.
Yeah, but I don't think she sees it that way. She just saves people. Amazing. Smart, quick-witted, fearless. Hell, she even glows.
And do you find all of your allies equally impressive?
Yes. No. Wait. What are you trying to say?
You are not used to expressing feelings of affection, are you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
My apologies.
And if I did, this ain't my first rodeo, you know?
Of course it is not. Whatever a rodeo is.
Yeah. Well, now that that's settled, maybe I should go sharpen my stakes or something. And maybe we should keep this chat to ourselves for now.
Have you seen...
No.
All right.
Hunter, putting me through my paces.
Robbie, have you seen Magik?
No, but there were some pretty crazy energy flashes coming from the dorms a few minutes ago. It usually means she wants to be left alone. Trust me on that.
Thanks, Robbie. This room belonged to the Scarlet Witch, did it not?
Wanda. It belongs to Wanda. Let me guess. You are to ask me to do the one thing the others value me for. Opening their precious portal. Well, I am in the middle of something. Come back later.
It is never easy to lose a comrade. I know this too well.
We did not lose Wanda. We let her go. Before any of this started. Wanda's first grimoire. Agatha gave it to her when she was teaching her witchcraft, the dark arts. She was trying to help Wanda control her powers. She would never let me read it. So now I read it.
I do not suppose there are any spells in there that will banish Lilith and save the world?
Hard to say. These incantations appear to have been written for Wanda alone. Maybe a world without Wanda is one we are not meant to save. I know what she's going through. To come face to face with true evil itself. To be dragged to some hell dimension so hot that your soul is scorched black. Your heart so filled with soot that it chokes out all the bright parts of you. Until you are just a dark thing of smoke and ash. I cannot let such a fate happen to her.
We will find her. I can feel it.
And just who will find her? Caretaker? The Avengers? Do not try to fool me with your false empathy, Hunter. I know Caretaker will never waste the resources looking for her.
Ileana, just open the portal.
You are like an Avenger. All you do is take, take, take. You expect too much. Okay, I will open your damn portal. It is times such as this that I wish someone else here could drill holes through space and time. Perhaps Doctor Strange should spend less time tinkering with Tony Stark in the Forge and focus more on his magic. No matter. I will be there when you are ready, Hunter. Goodbye.
Good day, Hunter.
I take it you found our gatekeeper. Then let me explain what's going on. When Hydra isn't preoccupied with world-ending scenarios, they spend a lot of their free time terrorizing the citizens of New York through various low-level operations. It's fairly routine stuff for heroes these days, and worst case, we'll still get some fresh intel in the process. Why don't you check the mirror table and see what we've got on our plate? I did the math. It would actually be faster for me to fly.
So what is stopping you?
The shockwave would shatter most of the things in my approach path.
Ah, that is not good.
Yeah, I try to be considerate. Yes?
We're sending you straight to the coordinates Captain Marvel identified in New York. Dr. Banner has confirmed that the gamma signatures in the area match those of Faustus's weapon. We need to recover whatever intel we can if we're going to find out exactly what's going on down there.
Hydra!
Looks like Captain Marvel was right on the...
Heroes. A single world-ending calamity is never enough to satiate your appetite for destruction. You insist on meddling further, forcing our hand yet again.
Oh, that's just lovely. Faustus has a radio. I'm assuming whatever Hydra is attempting to flee with on that chopper is our target. I suggest we stop it and see for ourselves.
Hail that!
Soon enough.
You suffer for that.
Awaiting reinforcements.
You don't even know what it is you're pursuing. The gamma disruptor you so narrowly escaped with in our last encounter was only the beginning.
Show yourself to me, Faustus. I will open more than your eyes.
Such ferocious spirit. You truly are your mother's child, Hunter.
No mercy for the servants of Lilith. Blade told me to mention your mother. Apparently, she's promiscuous. I'll handle it.
It's time to face judgment.
With the sun came her rebirth and the change. Magical energies that once transcended our reality, now harnessed, just as we did with the very particles that make up our being.
The light will heal you.
You have my thanks.
Ready up.
Well done. Seems like that's the last of them.
Last? There are more heads to the Hydra than you will ever comprehend, heroes. This is a minor setback at most.
Well, at least we don't have to listen to you any longer today. I consider that alone a victory.
Well done. If Hydra wasn't paying attention before, they are now. Stay sharp.
Feeling a chill, Magik?
You could say that. I've been staring at the night sky trying to figure it out.
Figure what out?
You're observant, Hunter. You tell me.
You were trying to figure out how to bring Wanda back.
Close, Hunter. But no. Something much more sinister has grabbed my attention.
Sinister?
When I was holding the transdimensional door for you back there, I sensed something was at the docks with you. Something dark and familiar.
What did you see, Ileana?
I did not see, I said. I sensed something there. But that's not the only thing I sensed today.
Oh?
Something has shifted in Limbo, but I cannot quite put my finger on it. All I know is that whatever is happening is also strangely familiar to me. And when all you knew was darkness and despair growing up, that warm, fuzzy feeling of familiarity is not just a warning sign, but an alarm bell.
We should inform the others of any potential danger.
Warn them of what? One of Magik's airy-fairy gut feelings? The Avengers are already unsure of us. I do not need to add to that. Best not say anything until I am better able to articulate it. I'd like to be left to my thoughts now, Hunter. I still have a lot of thinking to do, while I try to make sense of what I felt at the docks and the energetic shifts that ripple through Limbo. I will let you know if I do.
Hunter. Can't hurt to warm up on Hydra's flunkies. You've got an endless supply of practice dummies to beat on. You might feel like you need to hold back in training, but I'm glad you're not taking it easy on Hydra.
Hey, for someone they just dug up, you look pretty fresh. It's good to punch Hydra in the face, but they feel like a red herring. Okay, a black and red herring, but still.
It's nice of Hydra to provide all these free sparring partners for you. If they were smart, they'd start charging for these sessions.
Tony, why do you name everything after yourself?
Well, you seem like a bright person. Why don't you tell me?
Because you are accountable for what you make.
Exactly. It's the mark of my trade. Whatever I make has to live up to the family name, or I won't release it.
The family name?
Yeah, this all started as a mom and pop, run by my mom and pop. I have to honor their memory, and this helps me do it.
So the names are all for them?
Most. I slap my first name on the pure vanity projects. Helps keep me humble when they inevitably fail.
Can you give me an example?
Tony Tunes. Once vinyl came back, I really did think people would want a portable record player. The thing didn't skip. I went snowboarding with the Carmina Burana blasting in my ears.
So why did it fail?
Well, records are huge. You'd have to wear it like a backpack. And they're roughly 45 minutes of music, so you'd hear the same music on repeat. The only place you can find it now is one of those British spy flicks. $3 million in product placement bought us 3 seconds in the background. That was decent, boss.
I'm glad to see you're getting comfortable with the words of power, Hunter. If you're going to continue our little investigation of the Abbey, they'll be vital to your success.
Investigation?
A side project, but a potentially transformative one. With my blessing, Wanda was working to uncover what may be the most powerful.
Just what in the hell do you think you're doing in here?
Standing in the library?
I've given you free rein so you could get back on your feet. But
I never thought you'd pull something like this.
What is it you think I am doing, exactly?
Don't be coy. It does not suit you. I told you how hard it's been since we lost Agatha. Instead of letting it rest, you decide to reopen the wound?
Oh, Sarah, I never thought of this place like that.
Of course you didn't. And now, it's done. Why should I ever stand in your way?
That anger wasn't meant for you, dear. You know that, right? Don't hold it against Sarah.
She may try to mask her feelings, but you know she is struggling with what happened. Why are you hiding from her?
For most people, the captivating relationships of their lives are formed over a matter of days and years. Sarah and I spent centuries together exploring this world, fighting the darkness, watching cities and even nations form and then crumble. And yet we persevered together.
You still have not answered my question.
It may be difficult to understand, but she needs this time. Sending Wanda away, sealing the library, that elaborate memorial she conjured up, she didn't waste any time trying to bury what happened.
You are right. I do not understand.
It isn't up to me to reveal myself. It's up to her to accept what happened and allow herself to grieve. When that happens, we'll see each other again, but not before.
I trust you will do what is right for Sarah. So, what is it you are looking at here?
Yes, we should get back to the real reason I asked you to meet me here. Wanda's journal. The Abbey grounds have a great deal of history. Many of its secrets remain hidden, even after all this time.
Even to you?
Even to me. Wanda had taken to exploring the grounds in search of a strange energy we both sensed. Knowing that Sarah had no intention of waking you to investigate, Wanda felt it was up to her to take your place. Of course, being the clever girl that she is, her notes are written in an ancient, transient cipher that I've only just begun to understand. Have a look at the first entry. I'm sure it still seems a bit cryptic, but Wanda was definitely onto something. If you remember my altar, that's where she was conducting her experiments.
An investigation that involves experiments. Why do I feel like you are going to get me into trouble?
Since when has that ever stopped you? Let's meet out at the altar. I'll try to do a better job of explaining from there. Charlie will show you the way if you've forgotten. Like most things on the grounds here, there's more to this place than meets the eye. Do you remember the words I taught you as a child?
Are you going to make me say it?
Humor an old, dead woman.
Hocus pocus.
You haven't lost your touch, dear. The words may be simple, but these plinths won't appear for just anyone. Each represents one of the basic elements, their power activated only by the elemental rods they would normally be holding.
And where are the elemental rods now?
Scattered to the wind, unfortunately. A side effect of Wanda's experiments here.
Let me guess.
That's right. I want you to find the missing rods and return them here. Hopefully, as I decipher Wanda's journal, her notes will aid in the search.
But you have not actually told me what the greater purpose is here. What are we doing this for?
All in good time, dear. After what happened with Wanda, I'd rather you take things slowly. In fact, I don't want you overthinking this little project. There's no rush, and you don't have to help if you don't feel like it. But there is one more thing before I head back to the library.
An arcane key?
Just a little something. A token for your efforts so far. The key can be used to open that chest nearby. Like so many other oddities around here, those chests tend to appear before those who deserve them most. Make yourself that person.
That seems intentionally vague.
It's more fun that way, isn't it? I'll be in the library working on the translations if you need me, dear. Good luck. Can that really be you? Come closer. I want to get a better look at you. After all these years, it is good to see your face again.
Wish I could say the same, Mother. Now enough with this deception and reveal your true form.
But this is my true form. The way I was when you were just a sweet, helpless little baby. You don't remember that, do you? Well, I do. Bringing you into the world was the happiest time in my life.
And taking you out of this world again will be mine.
I had thought the words of power would open your eyes. But I should have known my sister and her pet witch would continue to withhold the truth from you.
And what truth is that?
The truth they are keeping from you. You need only...
Wait! Mother! Where did you... Was that really her?
I feel like we left things unfinished, Hunter. If you're free, I'd like to talk. Well, don't leave me in suspense. How are you enjoying the library?
I thought we were past that.
We are, but I'm still allowed to be annoyed with you. I expect a bit of pushback from the others, but not from you, Hunter.
Why not? When have I ever made things easy for you?
You had your moments, few and far between, but that's exactly my point. You know what that place, what she meant to me, and you did it anyway.
If I had known it meant this much to you, I would have waited. It was not my intention to defy or hurt you.
Hurt, no. Defy, maybe. At the same time, I know I haven't been very open with you about everything that's happened.
At least we are talking now. Silence between us would only make things worse.
You're right about that. We have bigger things to worry about. Like the mouthy alien tormenting Spider-Man as we speak.
He did risk himself for us without hesitation. We owe him for that, at least.
For once, I think the entire team is in agreement. It's only a matter of tracking Venom down.
I would just follow the trail of destruction, but maybe there is another way.
I'm sure we'll come up with something. Don't leave poor Spider-Man waiting too long now.
Hunter, my second favorite zombie superhero.
Who is your first?
Tony, on 2 hours of sleep. So, what do you need?
I have questions for you.
Sure, ask away.
Tell me about yourself, Carol.
What in particular?
Who were you before you became Captain Marvel?
Air Force pilot. I used to fly the unfriendly skies before I was attached to the space program. And back then, I was entirely human.
You are not entirely human?
Not since I uncovered actual, for real aliens. There was an accident with some alien tech that rewrote my DNA, and now I'm half Kree.
I have never heard of the Kree.
Neither had I. They have a space empire. It's crazy to think they've been around far longer than you've been alive.
How did Carol Danvers become Captain Marvel?
During my time with the space program, I found myself involved in a conflict between alien species, Kree and Skrulls. I got too close to a device called the Psyche Magnetron, and it completely altered me. A Kree soldier known as Mar-Vell felt responsible for what happened and took me under his wing. He was a hero in his own right, and we fought beside each other for years. He's gone now, but I took the name Captain Marvel as a tribute to what he stood for. Since then, I've made the name my own.
Your strength is hard for me to fathom.
With all this gamma weirdness keeping Banner in banner form, I'm Earth's mightiest Avenger. Once Thor realized the Hulk was in a class of his own, he was not happy to be in third place. He still challenges me to arm wrestling contests, and loses. He's much less salty since I started calling him Asgard's mightiest Avenger.
How powerful would you say you are?
When someone says we need to call in the big guns, they're talking about me. Just don't say it in front of Bruce. The Hulk is an order of magnitude stronger, no question. But he doesn't have my precision, patience, or reliability. At least, that's how Bruce put it.
That much power. And it does not seem to have gone to your head.
I do get cocky sometimes, but I don't take any of this for granted. And I always remember where I came from. Arrogance is like punching the afterburner with your wheels down.
Tell me about the Avengers.
Sure, what about us?
How long have you been an Avenger?
Over a decade. Still hard to believe. We've been so busy dealing with one crisis or another, it's hard to mark the time. My coffee tally puts me just shy of 20,000, excluding the cups I forgot to track.
What are your thoughts on your fellow Avengers?
I'm with the team for a reason. I believe in what we do. All of us do. I'm sure you've noticed Tony can be abrasive, but I never doubt his commitment. He and Banner used to fight like cats in a sack. Thankfully, they seem to be past that. And I can't think of anyone better to deal with a mystical enemy than Doctor Strange. He's a little out of sorts right now, what with being pushed out of his home, but he'll adjust.
Do you think your team can find common ground with the Midnight Suns?
Look, I try not to get involved in team politics. I'll work with anyone who gets the job done. I don't care what team they're from.
Do all the Avengers feel the same?
No comment.
Thank you, Carol.
Anytime. And hey, if you find the time, we should hang out.
I will consider that.
Of course.
Hunter, hello. Something on your mind?
You said something earlier about the blood.
In a world full of mysteries, the blood have managed to remain even more mysterious than most. They were an ancient race, said to be born of the Elder Gods. As I understand it, they were very strict about maintaining their bloodline. That's probably why you don't hear about them very often. And yet, here you are, one of their direct descendants.
Are there others?
It's quite possible. But even if there are, they might not even know it themselves. Somehow, I take comfort in that.
What they do not know cannot hurt them.
Indeed.
After our last battle, what happened to Lilith?
You were in the woods. You and your mother obviously came to blows. But we found no wounds, no evidence of what happened at all. A silent, deathly embrace between mother and child. We had hoped you would both find peace in the next life.
But she is not buried here.
No. We entrusted her to the Knights of Wondergore, the ancient protectors of your ancestral homeland in Transia. I don't think they ever expected to contend with an organization like Hydra, and I doubt Lilith spared any who survived her reawakening.
What would Wanda want with your altar?
What can I say? Some people have a curious, adventurous itch that just has to be scratched. I was one of them, and so was Wanda. Caretaker, not so much. But I see it again in you, Hunter.
So you encouraged her exploration?
Of course. Why wouldn't I? What good is being as powerful as we are if we're just going to spend all our time cooped up within these walls? What's the worst that could happen? You got me there, dear.
What do you know about the moon seals?
Presumably forged by the gods themselves, I like to think of a moon seal as both a lock and a key. With the right power, wielded by the right person, the energy of the seal is unleashed, creating a conduit to the Elder Gods.
And I am that right person.
Just another benefit of being descended from the blood. Lucky you, dear.
Where did the words of power come from?
While I often call them blessings or gifts of the old gods, the words of power are actually powerful invocations tuned to the unique energies found in descendants of the blood.
And Caretaker used the words as well.
Of course, dear. Sarah used the words of power on the Abbey grounds just as you do today. Many of the areas you encounter that seem receptive to these spells are actually the result of Sarah's frequent undertakings.
I would be rotting inside that creature's gullet if not for Spider-Man. Time to return the favor.
We'll find him. We're running facial recognition on every surveillance camera in the cloud. They just keep moving too fast.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but you think Team Spooky's doing any better?
Nothing.
Well, your inflection on that last dactyl was perfect. Perhaps a magnetism rune.
Against a level 5 demon-alien hybrid? Where did you learn your magic? Demo Khan?
You know, you really do have a look.
Hunter's right. This isn't working.
On to plan C. Well, more like D.
Norman won't mind if I borrow a few Oscorp satellites at 45,000 feet, right?
Higher, further, faster, baby.
82nd and 5th. Well, between 5th and Madison now.
Guys, they're live. And they're trending.
Hashtag Big Alien Apple.
Not bad.
Thanks. Now imagine if you had just asked for our help sooner.
No time for an after-school special. Patching it through. Patching it all through.
We need to hurry.